So now let us understand how nanotechnology will help in bone regeneration. Certain sections of our body are very complex in terms of the constituents that they are made from. Bones and teeth are those parts which have complex loads of moving bodies. They provide a protective cage for vital organs, they anchor tendons, muscles, and they act as joints and levers. This functional complexity is reflected in our structural body complexity also. But in several injuries, there is a chance that the bone is affected. And regrowth of the bone is slightly a challenging task to achieve. Under these circumstances, we can make use of nanotechnology to deal with bone regeneration. A novel approach to this is development of artificial bones, which means using macromolecules that self-assemble to large structures that mimic the natural structure of bone. In this particular circumstances, you can make use of chemicals like nanohydroxylapatite and even collagen, because this is one of the most plentiful protein that you find in human body. That's collagen. And that also makes up the bones, the cartilage, the heart, eye, and skin. The natural structural strength that these parts of our body have comes from collagen. So we can mimic the key features of human bone, and that's what we call as biomimetic synthesis, wherein you're synthesizing body parts by mimicking their key features. Let me tell you that people have made use of mineralized fibers coated with nanoparticles to do so. The cells which are responsible for giving rise to bones are seeded in these mineralized fibers. These cells will then grow and proliferate. You can also have nanofiber gels which nourish these cells so that the bones can be effectively regenerated. Let me tell you that regeneration is not just up to the bone. This technology can also be utilized for neuron regeneration. We know that loss of neuronal functions is one of the most problematic medical conditions in terms of consequences that the patient has to suffer, because it can interfere with very basic functions and cognitive abilities. There are several neurodegenerative disorders like Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, which we do not have effective treatments for. Neuronal function loss can also come from some severe accidents like spinal cord injury, or even from minor ones like peripheral neuronal damage. This can have detrimental effects on the life of the patient. Therefore, there has been need for new technology in this area. And there are two main approaches to neuronal regeneration: tissue engineering and neuron prosthetics. These two areas were fairly separate because of the kind of materials that are employed in these. Like in case of tissue engineering, you have soft biomaterials like biopolymers, proteins, peptides. While in case of the second type, which is use of neuronal prosthetics, you have microchip type materials, semiconductors, metals which are utilized. So you can see that the materials employed in both of these approaches are very different from each other. But with advent of technology, it was needed to combine both of these technologies, which means that both of these approaches may have to be used together in specific cases. Neuroprosthetics has been a big hope for people who have lost their limbs. So any motor-based problems can be dealt with by installing nano actuators and nano sensors. Nano muscles and nano limbs, these have come into the picture, wherein people who have muscle coordination issues or those who have lost limbs, they can be given these prosthetics. Isn't that really very interesting to even hear about? Let me tell you that a neuron prosthetic is a device which is implanted to restore a lost or damaged neuronal function. There are two main kinds of these prosthetics. One is motor-based and another is sensory-based. A motor-based neuroprosthetic device takes signals from the brain or motor pathway and converts the information to control and actuate a device. So which means that this device will get the signal from the brain and it will instruct the device how to make movements. So accordingly, the limbs will move. So it's just like mimicking the normal methodology of movement in humans. So people who have lost limbs, they need not lose hope, because these prosthetic limbs can give them a new life. Similarly, you can also have nano devices like magnetometers, accelerometers, pressure sensors, which can perform different functions which are lost due to some kind of neurological disorders. We will not go to its details, but this is just to inform what kind of different devices do we have in place. Similarly, we also have sensory neuroprosthetics. Sensory neuroprosthetics are responsible for, sense-based activities like vision, hearing, and balance. Though very less amount of work is done in this area, there is still a lot of hope of sensory neuroprosthetics helping people who are visually impaired or who are impaired in terms of their hearing abilities. So cochlear implants, which are ear implants, they can be utilized for enhancing their hearing ability. Lot of electronic stimulators have also been made use of to deal with neurological disorders, which improves the response that these individuals give. Also, people from Parkinson's, they suffer from a lot of tremors and fits. That can also be controlled using nano devices by controlling the kind of action potential or what you call as nerve signal or nerve impulses which are generated, so that convolutions can be avoided, fits can be avoided. Also, the aim has been to reduce any kind of energy requirements that may be there, because of which complications may occur in individuals who are suffering from neurological disorders. Also, nano devices have been used to stimulate the endocrine systems so that hormonal balance can be maintained in the human body. So see, a lot of different applications are possible. Even such devices have been used for managing pain in people who are suffering from untreatable conditions which are very, very painful, like some kind of cancers like bone cancer or melanoma, that's skin cancer. This really tells us that nanotechnology has a huge area of application when it comes to regenerative medicine. But unfortunately, a lot of money and effort and time needs to be invested in these areas. In our next video, we will speak about some of the devices that are implanted in the central nervous system to control neurological conditions.